All right, I just want to make a quick introductory video for the CRRC college, the different programs we're going to do, the method, the timetable, the length of courses, and just basically how we plan to run it or how I plan to run it, at least for the uh, foreseeable future, maybe the first 2 years. And then as people graduate from the program, they'll be able to teach classes or just use the resources that I've created from the programs and yeah, just be a blessing to God's people through this endeavor. So this college, I basically designed it to be able to be compatible for the working mom, the working dad, the busy individual, the busy adult. Uh, Basically, you're gonna get what you put in. You get out what you put into anything in life, but here it's no different. You can obviously, it's all pass fail. There's no like scoring system. There's no, oh, you got an 87, someone got a 95. It's just all based on effort, based on your, did you show up, did you turn in the assignments. If they're all yes, then you'll pass that class. You move on to the next one. But like I said, you'll get what you put in, you'll get out. If you don't really read and you just do basic, responses, that's what you'll get out of it, and you'll still pass. But obviously, the benefit is for your soul. This isn't for me. This isn't in any real sense, something that I just want to, produce to stroke my ego or something. It's for you and your usefulness in the kingdom of God and your ability to minister to others. So that's why I created it with, again, those busy individuals in mind, it not being too much, especially we're doing one class at a time. Um, but just know it's what you put in that you'll get out. So with that in place, I really hope the Lord uses it. I hope the Lord uses this as a ability to just strengthen the church, to be a blessing for the church, and then to kind of go to that next layer. And those who graduate will be a blessing to the next layer, and it keeps just in concentric circles, keeps going out. So with that, there's basically 4 programs, all in the same section. But when you look at the list of classes, you can see like little symbols, and you see what program requires what classes. There's an Introductory to Christianity class. These are all diplomas because we're not a real upper, how would you say, like a college, as it were, like, so we just call them diplomas. Just they're certificates that you graduate, and we want to make them real nice certificates, not just a handshake or hey, good job. You put the work in, and we want to bless you with a real certificate that shows, hey, I graduated from this program. This brother or this pastor was overseeing it, and he vouched for me. He saw my work, he saw my attendance, and this is a real graduating class that will be coming out of this. Yes, we're not accredited or anything like that, but that's not my aim. That's not my purpose. My purpose is to build up the church, especially our local church. So there's 4 programs, as I said. The first one's the Introductory to Christianity diploma. There's a diploma of Christian Studies, the diploma of Theology, and then basically the diploma of Divinity, which is you just take all classes that are listed. The Intro to Christianity has 4 classes. I think the diploma of Christianity has 10, and the diploma of Theology has 11. And they're 2 different style of classes. For instance, the diploma of Christian Studies will like include biblical counseling, while the diploma of Theology might not. It might have the more theology route and the theology classes that are chosen for that. So again, you can look at that. That's all available for you, and you can ask questions as you look into it. So how we will do the classes, basically, we want to get 2 semesters done a year. So 2 semesters, that is 8 classes. And then we want to do them in 6-week blocks where we meet twice in 6 weeks for those classes. So for instance, my hope is that we just will move the first class coming in. I think there's 7 students that have signed up. Those first 7 students will all take the same class because that's just the easiest. That's what be best, to have a classroom setting engagement. And those students will move to the next, and they'll just work their way through. Some will drop off once they finish their certificate. And then you just keep moving along. Others will drop off, and then the ones that are doing the whole program will keep going to the end. And then every 6 weeks, we basically will be starting a new course with this group, and then every semester we'll open up the program again to add new students. That way we kind of have those classes that we've already done already prepared. The videos have already been done if we're doing the live stream route or whatever it is. So basically we're building up the curriculum ourselves through this first class and reusing that and cycling that through time and time again. So the way I see it to being the most time efficient is taking groups through rather than everyone scattered. So with that, the first one is called All of Life, and that's John Kuyper Liberty's book, and that can be done throughout the 4 semesters. If you're doing any except the Intro to Christianity, that's not required for the Intro to Christianity, because the Intro to Christianity is just 4 classes, just helping you get a foundation. But the other ones, this is required, but it could be done again throughout the 4 semesters. And he is putting out his book on audio format on YouTube, so just listen to the audio, the chapters, and write down a summary of what's been said. Turn that in every chapter. You'll get credit. Once you're done with it, you're done with that All of Life course. Like I said, that's ongoing for 2 years for those that are taking the bigger programs. So we won't be starting with that. And then we're actually going to be starting the first group that comes in. If you're listening, we're going to be starting with The Holiness of God by R.C. Sproul. So that's going to be 6 weeks. It's roughly a 300-page book. So you got to read about 10 pages a day. And we'll meet twice. And by that group, you'll receive messages from me directly. We'll meet twice. So by the first time we meet, you have to have a certain amount of chapters done, and those all submitted to me. And then the second time we meet, you have to have the whole book done with those chapter summaries submitted to me. The chapter summaries is literally just got to be just half a page. I'm not going to count. I'm not going to measure. It's just really half a page. It's just the content that you feel that you were blessed by it. And actually, if I remember correctly, The Holiness of God, let me check real quick, is this little book here. This is, I think all the chapters have questions. Yeah. So the chapter summaries for this actually will be built in, and they'll just be answering the questions that are provided here at the end of each chapter, and you'll submit that to me. And if you just submit those questions, you show up to the 2 classes, either in person or virtual, your call, you do all the work, you're going to pass that class. And then we'll move to the next one, which will be, I think the next class we're going to take, again, this will be all finalized, will be the Thune and Walker, the Gospel Centered Life. It's very similar. There's workbook. It's a workbook based, so you'll be able to work through the questions. You'll submit those to me. When we meet, we'll talk about it, and you'll get credit for that. So every 6 weeks, we had to finish that book, and you're done with that course. Then we'll go to the next 6 weeks. We'll finish that course. Well, you finish that book. We meet twice. You're done with that course. And we just keep moving our way down until we're done with the semester. When we're done with the semester, then we move to the next group of classes. And then if people want to get brought in, that's where you get brought in, that new semester. So this will be kind of just like an ongoing thing for our church. And again, as we build it, as we continue to develop it, videos will be done. We can still do in-person stuff, of course, because I would love to have like a classroom setting to discuss. And then we move from there. So I hope that answers your questions. Again, I'm here. If not, the first group that's going to go through this, really pay attention to this video, ask questions, and we're going to begin with The Holiness of God for your first book. Start it now, but we officially will start the 6 weeks February 1st, and we have 6 weeks to finish that. And then we'll find a time that works for the group to meet for those in-person classes, which will be live streamed as well. As I'm doing the classes, we'll live stream that, so that way if anyone wants to participate, you can just tune in, and you'll reap the benefits of that. So this is for CRRC College. This is an introductory video, how it's going to work, how we're going to go through it. If you have questions, I'm here. It's not that complicated. I know with the list of classes and the different programs, it could seem like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to meet? It's very simple. Just don't let your mind go beyond 6 weeks. Just focus on the 6-week block. I have 1 book to read. I have 2 classes to attend, and I have the chapter summaries to do. And that's it. I'm really excited for this. Like I said, once we have 1 graduating class, I want those graduating people to be the next ones to lead the classes out for the benefit of God's kingdom. Hope this is helpful. I'm excited for it. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, just waiting for the church to get a little bigger to develop the students, the student body, and I think it's here, and I'm pumped. I think the first class is about 8 or 9 of us, so that's really good. And then now we have 8 or 9 teachers, hopefully after 2 years of doing this. I'm pumped for it. Let's do it for the glory of God. and I really hope it's beneficial. And I'm fully anticipating that it will be. Ask questions. Let's do this.